Let's talk about the iPhone. If you've been alive in the last 2 decades, you already know what this thing is. The iPhone isn't just a phone. It's the cultural artifact of our time. This little slab of glass and aluminum completely redefined how we talk, how we shop, how we date, how we literally exist online. Back in 2007, Steve Jobs stood on stage and said, "Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone." Fast forward to 2025. We're now on the iPhone 17. It's thinner than ever, faster than ever, packed with AI that feels like science fiction. Put the original iPhone next to it, and you'd probably laugh. So today, we're going to walk through the entire history of the iPhone, the hits, the misses, the innovations, the controversies, from that first chunky touchscreen brick all the way to the iPhone 17. This is the story of the iPhone. Picture this. It's January 9th, 2007. Steve Jobs walks on stage at Macworld in San Francisco. He's wearing his iconic black turtleneck, blue jeans, New Balance sneakers, and he says Apple is releasing 3 revolutionary products: a widescreen iPod with touch controls, a revolutionary mobile phone, and a breakthrough internet communicator. People clap. They're a little confused. And then Jobs drops the bomb. These are not 3 separate devices. This is one device, and we are calling it iPhone. Boom. History changed. The first iPhone had a 3.5-inch display, a 2-megapixel camera, and one button, the home button. No App Store, no copy and paste, no 3G. It was basically a glorified iPod that could make calls, and yet it blew people's minds. The first iPhone didn't even have an App Store. Imagine buying an iPhone today and not being able to download TikTok, Instagram, or even email apps. Yeah, 2007 was a different world. The iPhone might have started small, but the momentum, it built fast. In 2008, Apple released the iPhone 3G. The name said it all. 3G network support for faster internet. But the real star? The App Store. Suddenly, the iPhone wasn't just a phone. It was a platform. Developers could build apps. Users could download them instantly. That move alone created a trillion-dollar app economy.
The iPhone 4 was the cool kid phone. If you had one, you had clout, but it wasn't perfect. Remember AntennaGate? Hold the phone the wrong way, and your signal dropped. Apple had to give away free bumper cases. It was one of the first big PR scrambles for the iPhone. Then, in 2012, came the iPhone 5, the first big size change, a taller 4-inch screen, LTE support for fast data, and the old 30-pin connector, gone, replaced with Lightning. Classic Apple move. Everyone had to throw away their old cables and buy new ones. Still, people loved it. It felt lighter, more modern. By 2013, the iPhone wasn't just a gadget anymore. It was a global phenomenon. Apple was setting the tone for the entire smartphone industry. In 2014, Apple dropped the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. This was massive. Literally, Apple finally gave in to the big phone trend. The iPhone 6 had a 4.7-inch screen, and the 6 Plus, a whopping 5.5 inches. It was the first time Apple really leaned into the phablet craze. They also introduced Apple Pay. Suddenly, your phone wasn't just a phone, it was your wallet. And sales? Record-breaking. The iPhone 6 became one of the best-selling iPhones of all time, but it wasn't all smooth sailing. Remember Bendgate? Those thin aluminium bodies bent a little too easily in people's pockets? Still, the iPhone 6 era proved one thing: bigger screens were here to stay. Then came the iPhone 7 in 2016. And this was the moment Apple did the unthinkable. They removed the headphone jack. People freaked out. Memes everywhere, Apple said. But what it really meant? Time to sell more AirPods. And yeah, they were right. Wireless audio took off. The iPhone 7 also brought water resistance, better cameras, and stereo speakers. And then came the big one, the iPhone 10.
In 2017, 10 years after the first iPhone, came the future. This wasn't just an upgrade. This was a revolution. Edge-to-edge OLED display, no more home button. Face ID replaced Touch ID. An emoji debuted. It was Apple's boldest redesign ever. And the price? $999. $1,000 for a phone. People said it was insane, and yet everyone wanted one. The iPhone X was futuristic. It was aspirational. It set the blueprint for every iPhone that came after. After the radical jump
In 2020, the iPhone 12 brought 5G. Flat edges returned, reminiscent of the iPhone 4. Ceramic Shield made them tougher, and MagSafe made a comeback, this time wireless. Even in the middle of a pandemic, the iPhone 12 sold like wildfire. In 2021, the iPhone 13 focused on battery life. Cinematic mode arrived for video. Cameras kept climbing, closer to DSLR-level performance. It wasn't groundbreaking, but it was dependable. Then came the iPhone 14 in 2022. This was huge, not for design, but for safety. Apple introduced Emergency SOS via satellite. For the first time, your phone could reach satellites directly and save your life, even with no cell signal. The Pro models also debuted Dynamic Island. That little pill-shaped cutout became a playful, interactive hub. It was peak Apple, turning a limitation into a feature. In 2024, the iPhone 15 finally ditched Lightning for USB-C. Finally. After a decade of cables and dongles, every Apple device finally spoke the same charging language. The iPhone 15 Pro also introduced the Action button. Customizable, functional, beloved by power users. And the main cameras, 48 megapixels, a massive leap in detail and clarity. In 2024, the iPhone 16 pushed even further. The Pro models got larger displays with thinner bezels. The Action button became more customizable, and low-light photography reached astonishing levels. But the real story wasn't hardware, it was software. Apple doubled down on on-device AI. Your iPhone wasn't just smart anymore. It was starting to feel personal. It could transcribe calls, summarize notifications, even anticipate what you needed before you asked. For the first time, people said, this iPhone actually feels alive. And now, here we are, the iPhone 17. 17 generations. 18 years since Steve Jobs first held that little black rectangle in his hands. The iPhone 17 feels less like a phone and more like a pocket-sized supercomputer. Apple leaned hard into AI integration. Your iPhone now works seamlessly with Apple Intelligence, Apple's own generative AI. It can edit videos, draft emails with your voice, create custom wallpapers on the fly, even act as a personal assistant that actually understands you. The iPhone changed how we communicate, how we work, how we fall in love, how we entertain ourselves. It created billion-dollar industries. It killed off others. It put a supercomputer in the hands of billions, and it made Apple the most valuable company on Earth. From that chunky little 2007 original to the AI-driven iPhone 17 of 2025, the journey is staggering. And here's the thing, the iPhone story isn't over. Apple will keep pushing. Screens may fold, glasses may replace phones, AI may take over tasks we haven't even imagined yet. But no matter what comes next, the iPhone will always be remembered as the device that defined a generation. So the question is, what's your iPhone story?